of Karula the Queen. I suppose the Prince Philip, if you like, of this particular area. Now, on the other drive is Brent Leo Smith. He's being filmed by David. Unfortunately, they are changing a tyre right now, so you're stuck with me for the next little while. Please ask. On the other drive is Brent Leo Smith. He's being filmed by David. Unfortunately, they are changing a tyre right now, so you're stuck with me for the next little while. Please ask us your questions. #Safari. I don't know how much that you missed. Sorry about the gremlins. There is a very, very sort of a heavy cold front coming through, like I said. So, #Safari Live. You want to send us your questions or comments or anything else you'd like to say about what's going on here. Or questions at WildEarthTV. Either will work just as well. For the longer stuff, the email, the Twitter is probably the most speedy way of getting hold of us. I know that there will be a few new viewers from the TV specials that we did over the Father's Day weekend. You're most welcome. It's a joy to have you with us, and please do send us your questions and comments. Especially, even if we're not seeing anything spectacular at the moment, send us your questions about Africa, travel to Africa, South Africa. I think there are a lot of misconceptions about this great continent and our country, and we can clear those up for you while we go along. Are you ready to explore, Viam?
Yeah, boy.
Wonderful.
Let's get going.
On we go. Viam's tired of hearing me blithering away into the lens. Now, I said yesterday that I thought it might be a fairly chilly day today. And I said that because yesterday was so unusually warm for midwinter. And so this, I believe, is the solstice. Is it the solstice today or tomorrow? I think it's today. So this is our shortest day, our longest night, quite the opposite in the northern hemisphere, of course. And I think there's a bit of a front coming through. Here is the leopard track of Mrs. Karula and a cub, I think. If I find a decent track, I will show you what I mean. Just with this light, it's going to be difficult to see exactly what's going on. So there's not a lot of contrast in the light. So let's just drive gently along here, look in all the trees, look under all the bushes. They might be on the road in front of us, who knows. I'm just going to quickly give an update on the game drive radio. Lex, I've come down towards Treehouse Dam. Tracks of male leopard go down Philemon's Dip, and tracks of female leopard now on Savage's track to the east of Treehouse Dam. We're following up. Okay, so now for those of you who affirmative. For those of you who don't know, we're on game drive communications with a lot of the other drives in the area, which means that we can help each other, we can look for what's going on, and many of our sightings result from shared efforts. So that's what's going on here. Now this cold front, I think, is going to bite us for a few days, but what it's going to do, I don't know if you can see as we drive along here, but the leaves, if we look down through there, if you can just put your camera through there, you can see there they've turned yellow, and that's happened in the last week, you know. They've turned that yellow, and this wind that's blowing through here is going to blow them off the trees, and the landscape in the next week or so is going to change profoundly. I think those tracks headed off to the south, unless they're back now. Can't see them here. We'll just drive along gently. VM, can you see them that side? VM, not only a cameraman, an exceptional tracker. Mongoose. I don't think we're going to track the mongoose if it's all the same to you. Sheepers. So it's 14 degrees Celsius here, which is about 54 degrees Fahrenheit, And Christopher, you say in Arizona it was 120 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday. That, if I'm not mistaken, is round about 45 degrees Celsius. And you want to know what the hottest temperature is here. Christopher, on very rare occasions it will hit 45 degrees Celsius. And I think that was the hottest temperature we had last year. That's about 120 degrees Fahrenheit. It is consistently very hot though. Oh no, it's 51 degrees. It doesn't get that hot here normally. 51 degrees Celsius you had in Arizona. No, mercifully it doesn't get quite that hot here yet. That is, that is beastly, Christopher. Sorry about that. That is really unpleasant. Very unpleasant indeed. Good grief. No, I don't think I've ever experienced 50 degrees. Right, let's see if our tracks pop out here. If they don't, we'll just do another loop around the block. Now, when we refer to a block, it's just the same as if it's in a city. It's the area between roads. So when I say in this block, I mean in this sort of region where there might not be any roads. So I think the track's headed off coming this way. It is difficult to tell straight from the vehicle, but I'm pretty sure they looked like they were coming this way. Whether she's with the cubs or not, I don't know. We'll just have a quick keep looking to the side of the car. And I was asked a wonderful question once as to why it is I always look to the right-hand side. Do animals not also walk on the left? Now, while that might initially seem like a valid question, of course, if your driver's seat is on the left-hand side, right-hand side, it's rather difficult to kind of climb over and look this way. So we normally get VM to do that sort of thing, and I look on the right. Especially if you're Brent Leo Smith, of course, because his vast form rather fills the cockpit more than mine does. Now we're pretty much opposite where I thought those tracks came across. So let's go across to Brent while I assess the situation here, and I'll catch up with you just now.
And the other checking male leopard tracks in towards Treehouse. Oh, sorry, I was going to get through the radio really quickly. Good morning, welcome to Safari Live. My name is Brent. I got Dave on camera with me today. And we had a little bit of a rough start to the morning. And we had to change a flat tire. One of our plugs popped. And as we were probably just too far to make it back to camp, so we've changed the tire. We're now out of, and we're heading towards the northern edge of Djuma, and we're going to head east from there. And I'm hoping some of those lions.
Right, Brent having a bit of an easy morning today, no signal with him and Wendy, so bear with me, we'll keep our eyes out. I haven't found the tracks coming out again. We're pulling up again on Treehouse Dam, so we're going to go around the block, see what we can find there. Karula may have just been doing a little bit of a patrol. She may have left the cubs behind. I thought I maybe saw one cub track there, but I'm not sure. Might be very lucky. So this is where we were earlier, just before you came to us, here at Treehouse Dam. I always hope to find her lying somewhere close by next to one of the puddles there. Seldom works out like that. I also did see a tawny eagle in here. Now, a tawny eagle, one of the big birds of prey that we have here, and they also scavenge quite a lot. So let's just keep our eyes into this block. Hang on a second. I will be so deeply impressed with myself if this termite mound that looks like a leopard is in fact a leopard, rather than just a termite mound. Marjorie, you say Karula seems to be getting a little older and possibly beyond the breeding age. She is slightly beyond the breed, or not slightly beyond. She doesn't have many years left of breeding. At 12 years old, she's probably pretty much, if these cubs survive to adulthood, by the time she mates again, she'll be 14. She might have another litter, but that would probably be the last one. VM, did you see what I was looking at?
Yes, that little clump of sand on the termite mound.
Yes, the clump of sand on the termite mound that I thought was Mvula's head, staring wistfully off to the east, thinking of the days when he was a younger man. Unfortunately, not. No. Okay, on we go. I got that stab through my belly, thinking, yes. And then, utter dejection. Utter bereavement. Now, as it gets to winter, what starts to happen is that I showed you how the vegetation becomes yellow and gold, and so animals find it that much easier to hide in this sort of vegetation. Well, their camouflage is much better for this time of the year. And in summertime, of course, when everything's green, the colors of many of the animals to our eyes stand out, but it's obviously much easier for them to hide behind bushes. It's a really different kind of technique to looking for things at this time of the year. Now, this is where I thought maybe I saw the tracks going off the road. I'll just assess them a little bit more carefully now. It's a little game path that goes off just around the corner. Hello Safari Dean, you are obviously watching the show. Here she is on the TV, and you say, am I happy to be out of my tent? Safari Dean, I'm quite happy, but you know what? I loved being in that tent. I thought it was so great that we had different things to do, different things to show, and so it was a real joy to be in there. But it is nice to get out again, go and look for the animals. She's on the road here, just next to the road, still there. And this is where I thought she headed off, down there. No, she's back there. We're going to drive very slowly along here and just keep an eye out to the right hand side. There's a drainage system. Leopards do like to lurk about in drainage systems. Right, while we're having a look here, head back to Brent and I'll catch up with you shortly. With the sun there. Here's the cab track.
Welcome back, sorry about that. Now, we're on the northern edge of our traverse area, and just over this hill, I saw my first African wildcat live on safari last night. Very exciting. Brian and I had a splendid evening just taking in the beautiful surrounds we were in, and we got spoilt with a little bonus wildcat right towards the end of the safari. So it might be the same one that Jamie saw. It's not far from where she saw it. So who knows, maybe I'll see it again this morning. A big Safari Live welcome to Howard the Dak, who is a brand new viewer. Lovely to have you, Howard. Howard, I'm just going to quickly try to show you guys the sunrise before I get to your question. Oh, how's that, Dave? There we go. Now, there is quite a lot of cloud around, but there is a burning bright orb between the clouds at the moment. Look at that. I'm hoping that burning orb burns off the cloud because I don't like being cold. But Howard was wondering, where are we? Are we in Australia? We are not, Howard. We are on the southern tip of Africa. We're in the country South Africa. More specifically, we're in the province of Mpumalanga. Mpumalanga in Zulu means where the basically where the sun comes out. So we're in the eastern part of South Africa, or northeastern actually, and we're on the western edge of an 8.5 million acre 8.5 million acre wilderness area called the Greater Limpopo Transfrontier Park. We are in the Sabi Sands Game Reserve, more specifically on Djuma Private Game Reserve, and it is a beautiful part of the world. Filled with Africa's big hairies and scaries, as well as the other species, so lion, leopard, elephant, buffalo, and all the other, I think, animals that are here. Now, of course, a lot of our time is spent looking for leopards and lions and cheetahs and things. And Howard, if you stay tuned, we might be seeing
we found at least one leopard in this tree exactly where the tracks came off the road. Now, if it's the cubs, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to stay with them. In other words, if it's the cubs with no mum. She's in this tree here, the little one. So let's just ease our way in. I don't want to, we don't know what's on the ground. Mum might be on the ground. The radio is going to go crazy, so just bear with me. Go ahead. There. Savages track east of Treehouse Dam. There's a big albizia tree, or false thorn tree in the drainage. We've only got visual of one youngster at the moment. Can you see her there, VMP? There we go. I don't know at the moment, I'm just checking now. Tax, what's the rule on it? To confirm we leave if the mother's not here? That's the male, that's George, everybody. Okay, copy. Right, everybody, there's George. I don't know where his sister is. Let's have a look around. Oh, this is just wonderful. I don't think that the sister can be far away. I think she's probably lurking in the bushes here somewhere. I don't know where Mum is. She may or may not be around here. Let me just keep looking with my binos. What we'll do, we're just going to assess the situation here. And Taxon, who is the senior guide of the area, has made a very good suggestion. He said, look, if they are not running around and nervous, then probably just stick around. So I think that's what we'll do, because George has just fallen asleep. Well, just about. I can't see any kill. And all I spotted, everyone, was that tail hanging down. You can just see the tail. That's what I spotted from the road, twitching there. And so I'm going to sit here for the next 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll ease forward and just see if we can't catch sight of Mum or Charlotte. This is fantastic, isn't it great? Little 4-month-old leopard, that's the male. The reason I know that is from his blue eyes. You can see there he doesn't have those deep red-brown eyes that his sister has. Let me just scan around with my binoculars. So I'm not going to look at George. You enjoy the sight of him. I'm just going to scan around here, see if I can see his sister anywhere. I can't see anything further at this stage. VMP? Nothing, hey? Let's ease gently forward. And I might actually make the decision to go around the other way, the other side, and just see if we can't look from that end. Because this is, I mean, where we're sitting now, there are not many places that other leopards could be. And there's a termite mound just to the other side that I think maybe the others could be on. Hello Roger in Tampa, lovely to hear from you and thank you for your question. You say, at what age are these cubs able to climb trees? Roger, they can climb trees from probably about 8 weeks. Have you got a view there then?
Nope.
No, nothing at all.
No.
Okay, how's that?
Worse.
Worse. Okay, I think we're going to go around the other side. I just want one more sort of look from here. You can just see the leopard there. I know it's not a great view, but you can see there's beautiful little eyes looking out. I just want to look around here quickly to see if I can see the other one. And then I think we're going to carry on towards the other side. So Roger in Tampa, let me just answer your question quickly. They can climb trees from about 8 weeks, which is why we don't really view them long before they're 8 weeks old, unless the situation is really exceptional. Okay, I can hear bird alarm calling from the other side. While we go around there, let's head across to Brent, get an update from him. We'll keep you posted on what happens here.
As I said, you never know what's around the next corner. Isn't that incredible? James has found one of our dominant female leopard's cubs. Exciting! But while James is there, I've spotted some lion tracks, and they're coming straight down the road. We gotta hope that they stay on Djuma. They might cross to the north. So I'm just gonna have a quick look back down the road and see where those tracks go. I'm really hoping they don't turn off here. We want them to turn that way. Now, there are human boundaries, but of course the animals don't know what those are, and they can go wherever they want. Oh dear. That's not good for us, I'm afraid. And we can see the tracks going off here. There's a nice track there. Very fresh track. So I think we've just missed these lions. But when I say fresh tracks, a couple of hours old. If we have a look, because there's a very relaxed zebra through there. Hello, zebra. It's probably a male zebra. Young stallion, all on his own. Hasn't become big enough and strong enough to challenge for his own group of females yet. Watch out, there are lions around, mister. Now, there's definitely a male track here and a female track, but there's by no means there are no lions left on Djuma. There could easily be some more across the way. So we're going to keep checking, and I'm just going to call those tracks in. I know Abel's looking for them. Abel. Abel and Nkonzo of at least Triangala head into Buffelshoek at the construction sign. I'm not sure the name of the road. Copy. Okay. Hi, Donna. Donna wants to know if we've seen the Birmingham boys recently, and how did they get that strange name? And I'm trying to remember when the last time I saw the Birmingham boys was. Probably a week or so ago. Now, those who are wondering, what is a Birmingham? What is a Birmingham boy? It is our dominant coalition of male lions. There were originally 5 of them. Oh, now there just to confuse me. The lion track's coming back. But it looks like a single lioness, no, a single male and a lioness. So, wonder what's happening. Let's have a closer look here. Where are the other tracks that were coming down? They look nice and fresh, so it looks like the lions might have done us a favor and turned around and come back. Oh, those are very nice tracks. Yay. Sorry, so I was talking about the Birmingham boys. So there were 5 originally. 1, we think, died because of an injury from a buffalo. And the other 4 are still very fit and healthy. Now, why are they called the Birmingham boys? So, and there's another set of lion tracks crossing in. Okay, we're on this. We're on this. Donna, I will finish about the Birmingham boys in a second. There's now Nkonzo coming back southeast into that block between Hippo Pools and Cheetah Cutline. I'm going to check Cheetah Cutline, make sure they didn't go east. Now, those are really nice fresh tracks. So, now, this area, when it was originally cut up during colonial times and farms were formed, and I don't think the cartographers had too much imagination at the moment. And what they did is a lot of the farms in this area were named after places that were well known. So there's a farm in the Timbavati that's called Birmingham. And those 5 male lions were originally born on Birmingham and then migrated about 40, 50 kilometers from where they were born to where they set up territory in this area. So that's why they're called the Birmingham boys. We are on Djuma, which his original name is Gowrie. So now we're going to search for lions, but James has got 2 cats in the bag, and that's better than 1 in the bush. So let's go have a look.
So little Charlotte is here. She's on a termite mound, basking in the sun. We'll show her to you now. I haven't seen Mum, and I'm now stuck on a stump. There we go. She's totally relaxed. He's totally relaxed. So, I mean, I kind of think Mum might be around here. But we'll just have a quick peek through here, and hopefully we'll be able to assess. But I don't see Karula anywhere. This is going to be a problem, isn't it, Liam? There's a very large piece of stick here. So she's just over there, not too far from where we are, just on that termite mound. I'll try and ease my way in. He's straight ahead of us there, in that tree. There he is. Catching the rays. Yeah, I don't see Mrs. anywhere. She may well be off hunting. But that said, I haven't seen her tracks going anywhere else, so I don't know. Maybe she sent them both to the naughty corner. This is, every bush is positioned precisely in the wrong place. If I can get through here though, we'll get them both. But it's going to be a painfully slow process because obviously we don't want to make a big noise. No thorns on this one. Looks like there might be thorns, but there aren't. That's why it's called a false thorn. Tell me when you've got a view there, Liam. She moved. I think she's gone down the back. Yeah, everyone, I don't know that we're going to spend much time here. I don't think the mum is here. And that means that we're not, if they are moving, if they're looking even vaguely nervous, we're going to leave them. So I think little Charlotte has moved down off the termite mound there. We'll just have a look the other side of the termite mound quickly. What's that in front? Oh, Franklin's. We have to keep our distance, so we really can't go close until we know that Mum's here. And every strychnos bush in the Lowveld seems to have a cousin over here. That's the bushes you can see us sort of mangling. And Dina, nice one from you. You want to know if the cubs would catch small prey on their own yet. I don't think something the size of a hare you wanted to know about. No, I think maybe the size of a lizard. I mean, they'd catch a lizard or something like that. Maybe a gerbil if they were very lucky, or a bird. I think they would probably catch a bird now, but I don't think they're coordinated enough or skillful enough yet to be able to take, or fast enough to be able to take a hare. A hare is quick and very wily. Right, so now we can make a bit of noise because we're a decent distance away, so we're not going to give anyone a fright. And we'll just go back around on the road. It always is just a little difficult here to tell what's going on. I'm just going to give Lex an indication quickly. He's just over there. Lex, come in. Lex is just coming this way. I don't want to put two vehicles into this sighting on this side of the drainage. He can very safely go and view the other one from the other side. Good morning. Lex, we've had view of the cub, with both of them. We've got the female here. I don't know if the male's here, and she's not in a tree, so I wouldn't go in here. But you can see him from the other road there, parallel here. There's a. Did you have a look? Okay, go along there, and you'll see him. Yeah, and you'll see him sitting in the top of an albizia tree, directly opposite where we are now. Yeah. Okay. That's Savage's track, yeah. I'm just going to have a quick look to see if the mother's here. Cool. Well, that's Lex, everybody. He's driving out of Vuyatela, and he is an expert guide, been guiding for more than 30 years. Now, Deborah, you want to know at what age I'd be comfortable to stay with the tracks, with the cubs without their mother. It's not so much an age as a comfort thing, Deborah. So, I mean, I'd be happy to stay with them now if they were both sitting in the tree like that. But with Charlotte down on the ground like this, she definitely moved because we probably made a bit too much noise. So I wouldn't hang around with her on her own. We might go around and sit with the male, but it's only once they become relaxed. That could be anything from now to sort of 6 months. But normally it's actually, 6 months before you'll view these cats on their own without their mother. That was the termite mound that she was sitting on, just behind us. I don't see her there anymore. And so we could go driving in close by. I'm not going to. I'm going to give her a bit of a wide berth and just go round. I've just got a feeling that mother isn't here. And because of that, we're going to be very reticent to spend too much time around here. Don't want to give her a fright, because to regain her trust will be no easy feat. So just bear with us, everybody. And the elephants, of course, have made a tremendous mess all over the place. So it's not easy to find your way amongst all the pushed over trees without making too much of a noise. Let's ease around here. We may or may not get view of Mum. Let's just look looking closely at the top of that termite mound there. A nice clear way through here. George is still in the tree there. I'm just going to show you a silhouette. You can just see a silhouette there. There it is on the right hand side. Yeah, there he is. Hello, Georgie boy. And I can see Charlotte. So let me move forward and then we'll have both in view. VMP, if you just put your camera straight into the middle of the bush there underneath, you'll see her. Ba-boom. There she is, everyone. You see her? And look at the difference in her eyes. Just going to guide Lex in there. Yeah, Lex, that albizia opposite where you are now. And there's the other little one. So I don't think Mum's here, I'm afraid. You'd imagine we'd be able to see Mother given her size compared with them. So I mean we're almost 300 feet from her. We're at the end of the super zoom lens, so I'm not worried about being where we are now. Jono, a very nice observation from you. You say it looks like their spots sort of meld into their eyes and possibly obscure the way that they obscure their eyes, and perhaps that affects whether they or not their prey can see where they're looking. And that is exactly, I think, the case. I'm just going to quickly scan the bushes around here and make sure that Karula isn't lying around. But if she isn't, we're going to head off after a few more minutes, just because we don't want to be insensitive to the situation. That is quite cool though, isn't it? I know it's not the best view we've ever had, but it is pretty cool to be watching a leopard at 300 feet without her kind of being affected by you. I think that's great. So Mum is probably off hunting, and when we saw her tracks initially today, they were kind of, Viam spotted them on the road first, and then I spotted them on my side, and they were sort of facing directly away from a tree, and what that indicates is that she was spraying the tree, so she's probably marking territory. And if she's marking territory, it means that she may have moved, a fair distance. And she has been leaving them for longer and longer periods. She's gone off all the way into Biffleshoek and Torchwood over the last little while and left the cubs for, sort of 12 hours at a time. Because for the last maintaining very small pieces of territory. Look at those eyes. Those eyes are quite something. Janet, you want to know if a female territorially soars in the same way that a male does? Yes. They do, Janet. They absolutely soar in a territorial fashion in the same way that a male does. And Karula, the last time she was found, actually, was doing precisely that. VMP, should we go a little forward? Or do you just want to have a look there? There you can see George. There he is. And he's just very relaxed in his tree there. But we're not going to go any closer to him. Well, we could sneak a little bit further forward, but we wouldn't get a better view of him. The only reason I want to move is simply because I'm not 100% convinced Mum isn't here. Well, that's a satisfying start, really, isn't it, Viam? I'm going to sneak slightly forward. are you? Just tell me when you've got. You should have a view now. There we are. Shamsun, you want to know if we're close enough to hear if Karula calls them? Yes, I think we probably are. We'd hear her going, ow, ow, ow. But only if the car was off. Right. I'm scanning the bushes for some deep white fur or some other spots sticking out. But I can't see anything. Down in the drainage, she could easily be sitting in a tree just above our heads. It's interesting that they're not together, I think, the two cubs. That they've chosen to be separate at the moment, and it, you know, I think it's difficult for people to understand, especially if you've had a house cat, how independent leopards are, and how soon that independence and need for solitude begins to manifest. So these leopards are 4.5 months old, and already they're starting to show signs of, not independence, but certainly the need for solitude. They will play a lot together over the coming months, but they're already starting to spend some lone time. Dina, you say, does she have a notch on her right ear? No, that's a normal notch. You mean underneath there, Dina? That's totally normal. They all have that. She's got that notch on both her ears, and you can see it from where you are. And you can see it, you know, the angle of her head when she changes it. You'll see it on the other ear as well. Her ears are pristine. Fantastic that they're spending a bit more time here. You see what George is doing? George is now staring into the distance, beautifully silhouetted in his tree. Hello, Georgie. He's looking this way. Hello, fella. I think he's looking that way because someone on Lex's vehicle is blowing their nose quite strongly. Okay, everybody, we're going to give this another 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to pull out, just simply because the mum doesn't seem to be around. And I don't want there to be any undue pressure on them. They must feel free to join each other, should the need arise. Liam, where's Karula?
I don't know.
Why haven't you spotted her?
I think she's a little gallery.
I think she might well be south of our boundary. And this will not be a restful time for them, you know. I mean, I know Georgie's having a little snooze in the top of the tree there, but they have to keep their eyes open. Oh, he's coming down. Gee whiz. Right, everyone, before he hits the ground, I'm going to make the call that we get out of here. I don't want to block him from his sister. I don't want him to be nervous on the ground. So we're going to move. And we're certainly not blocking him from his sister, but I don't want to sort of start up once they're settled without their mum. Unless that's their mother I've just seen. Hang on. No. Okay, everyone, a great sighting. Let's carry on. Let's head across to Brent, find out what his update is, but it's so good that those two little cubs are absolutely fine.
I went for a walk on those lion tracks and they jigged and they jagged, and unfortunately they went north. So we're going to now start heading a bit further south and maybe head about down to the west. I've got an update from Cheetah Plains, not much happening that side, so maybe we'll go see what's happening on Arathusa. And it's one of those mornings where it seems to get colder as it goes on, even though the sun is attempting to dissipate the cloud bank. It actually looks like it's doing a reasonably fine job so far. Remember, we are on a live African safari, and we are now going to go see if we can find leopard. Okay, so Mom must be around somewhere if the cubs are there. So we're going to check, and there were male leopard tracks. Of course, unless we find some more lion tracks to follow. I was feeling like lions today, I really was. Unfortunately, they weren't feeling like us. Morning, Shamsun. Shamsun would like to know the success of the Styx Pride. Will it have a negative effect on the Nkuhumas since they both fall under the coalition males, the Birmingham boys? I don't at all. If anything, the Styx Pride is still far more vulnerable to the Birmingham. I mean, to the Nkuhumas. The Nkuhumas have 5 adult lionesses, and the Styx only have 3 or 4. And at that weight of numbers will generally keep the Styx out of the Nkuhuma territory. The Birminghams might dominate over both prides, but the Styx and Nkuhuma prides will fight between themselves. I'm just having a quick look. No tracks. So it's very, very interesting that the female lions, even though they share the same males, will fight and defend territory against each other. Now, the Styx made a brief incursion north. I haven't heard if they went back south last night. They went into Torchwood, which is just to the east of us here, and the Nkuhumas were in Torchwood at the same time. But the Styx seem to use the southern section of Torchwood and the eastern section, whereas the Nkuhumas are the north and western sections of Torchwood. Oh, there we go. Sounds like they found the tracks of the Styx Pride well to the east, near the Kruger Park boundary. Now, of course, we should be a little worried for Karula's cubs at the moment. Mvula's knocking about, and so is Sindile. And both those male leopards pose a huge threat to the Karula's cubs. Now, 70% of all recorded leopard cub mortalities are done by male leopards. Specifically male leopards like Sindile and like Mvula. One is a dispersal male. He's now got to go find his own little spot. And the other is an old dominant male who's now become a nomadic male because he's unable to hold territory. Hi, Lael in Washington. Oh, it's getting colder. Lael would like to know how long Sindile's rabies shots will last. Indefinitely, Lael. He will have to have other shots if he catches another rabid animal. But that hopefully will not happen, and he should be 100% fine. Now, Lael would also like to know who named Sindile. And it was you, the viewers. I think it was. He was named Mother's Day last year during a Nat.Geo special weekend, and there was a little vote that was put out onto the Twitter sphere, and that's the name that was chosen, the most popular. There's a couple of options put through, and that's where he got his name. So far, very quiet on the track front for us. Now, the thing is with the Birmingham boys, being 4 of them, they often move around by themselves or just 2 of them. And it's not uncommon for male lions, so you never know if we might find another set of tracks to follow. Okay, so we're about to hit the southeastern corner, and I think I'm going to head west from here. Ooh, what track is that? Hyena, hyena. It is quite nippy at the moment. Seems to be getting colder. I see Dave has turned into the Michelin man behind me. He's added layer upon layer. So now all I can see is his eyes. Good morning, James B. James is wondering, when it's cold like this, do the animals find a place to keep warm, or do they like the cold? A lot of species aren't so fond of the cold, they're less fond of the wind. And what will happen is you'll find animals like buffalo, waterbuck, kudu, etc. will normally move to the top of a hill where it's slightly warmer, because of course warm air rises. Now, the predators, on the other hand, they quite like the cold. They have quite a tough time of it in the summer because they struggle to get rid of their body temperature, and so they pant. So you can find the predators moving about a bit more often in the cold weather. So they might be moving around later in the morning or even sometimes during the day. Now we're about to head towards the little Mawati River. Now that runs through the heart of Djuma. A beautiful little dry river system. Now most of our river systems here are dry for most of the year, and they only flow for very short periods at a time. We are quite an arid climate. On average we get about 350 milliliters of rain a year. This year we haven't even had half that, and we are in the grips of a drought. Although there is some speculation that come November or even September, the opposite of El Nino, I think it's called La Nina, is coming. So there's quite a lot of debate about whether we're going to have floods or we're going to have drought for a second year. So always checking carefully around here. Quite a popular spot for leopards on the edge of these river systems. Now I'm quite interested to see where all the tracks are this morning, and they're eluding me. Oh no, we found lots of tracks, but the tracks we were following unfortunately left our traverse area. Sounds like they found one of the Birmingham boys to the north. I'm pretty sure it's those tracks we were following. Hi, Rambling Tin Lizzie. Rambling Tin Lizzie's been wondering how James got the nickname Commander Bond. Well, I double A.
Hello everybody. We came down onto the southern boundary here to see if we could find some tracks of Mrs. Leopard. We did find some going across this way, round about exactly where we are now, but as Viam pointed out, they don't go all the way across the road, which either means there's been a tremendous amount of activity on this road since she walked across, or that they're not very fresh. So we can continue down here. My lapel looks like it's off. Lost it, hang on. Sorry everybody, just fix the sound. Yes, I muted it by mistake. There we go. It's unmuted now. Now you will hear my voice in glorious high definition. High fidelity. Sorry, yes, Viam, high fidelity, not high definition. You get away with nothing on this car, I tell you what. Oh, there's Brent Leo Smith. He will check for tracks on this part of the road. Let me continue along here. Let's see if I can't find them going perhaps that way. I think she could well be across the road there. Hunting, which is distressing because it means that she will hunt something there, kill it, and then take the cubbies away. Not nice of her. Anyway, let's see what else we can find. I have not seen any other kind of mammal, everyone. I don't think I've seen an impala today. There were no impala around here yesterday. There was one steenbok. So maybe we'll head along and to another part of the reserve and see what we can find. I do also want to go past the hyena den and see what's going on there. So maybe we'll do that. The sun has come out. It's not exactly a very shiny day, but every so often it's lovely. Now, Angie, you're in Wisconsin. You want to know about spotted hyena versus brown hyenas and their different calls that they make. Angie, a spotted hyena has a very different call from a brown hyena. I've actually never heard a brown hyena call, but a spotted hyena has a unique call. No other animal in the bush sounds like it, and it's because it lives socially. And so it has to have a whole suite of different calls to talk to, other members of the clan in a way that a brown hyena does not. A brown hyena, of course, is entirely solitary, unless they're mating or with cubs. It's a nice question. Brown hyena, very, very uncommon in this area. I think seen once on Safari Live by Peter Pretorius. But I'm afraid the rest of us have never seen a brown hyena in this area. They are in the Kruger, but they're not common. But they're amazing survivors. There was one seen in Johannesburg the other day. There's a little sort of, I suppose you could call it a park, but it's quite a long park, long thin park that runs the length of a river in Johannesburg. And that park revealed a brown hyena the other day, which is utterly bizarre. I mean, Johannesburg is a massive metropolitan area. Slightly upset sounding Franklin in here. Wondering if maybe Mrs. Karula hasn't popped down this way. Well, I don't see her. She will definitely also spend some alone time. You know, she might not only be away hunting. I've definitely seen leopards leaving their kids and having a little bit of a break from them. Let's just check down here. I'm going to go and have one more look in that area where we had the cubs, because we do have a little school drive this morning. The Johannesburg school is joining us from Johannesburg. Obviously, they're in Johannesburg. And I'll go and have one more look over there during the school drive, and we'll see. Anyway, let's see what else we can find. There were, I don't know how many of you were watching last night, but we had, sorry, there's great noise going on there. We did have, of course, that ping from Sindile's collar, and he was not far from where we were walking around on the Gowrie main road, so he might pop out too. That would be great. You see the light just starting to break through now. Very beautiful. And perhaps Mvula as well. Now the radio is totally quiet. Let's just stop down here. See what we can see. No more tracks on the road. I just want to quickly show you, many of you will know this, but many of you will not perhaps. This, everybody, is a strychnos bush, and they are the bushes that make that horrible sound when we're driving through the blocks. And they're very distinctive for this sort of three-veined, or tri-venation, if you like, coming from the base of the leaf. And they have got strychnine in the seeds of the fruit, and that's why they're called strychnos. Now, look at this, Viam. Everywhere you look, if you get down to the micro level, there is some kind of animal. And just on the bottom of the leaf there, can you see it?
Which leaf this?
This one right here. It's very small. There's a caterpillar that is pupating. Tiny, tiny caterpillar. You see it? Now, I think that's what we call a leaf tear, everybody. And if you look around, let me turn the leaf around, you can see the leaf has been eaten out from the middle. You see that? Now, those sort of almost individual cells of the leaf have been eaten out from the middle of between the dermal layers. So although a leaf almost looks 2D to us, looking 2 dimensions, it does exist in 3 dimensions. And all along the strychnos bush, leaf tear caterpillars have eaten away the middle of the leaf like that. And I think they avoid a lot of the structural material, so they don't get the lignin and the cellulose, which makes it much easier for them to digest what they find. I think that's incredible. And that's there. A tiny, tiny, microscopic caterpillar, probably about 1 millimeter long. It's really quite cool. Okay, that's Strychnos madagascarensis, the black monkey orange. I'm a bit regretful that I broke that tree off there, because now I'm not sure that the caterpillar will survive. I'm sure there are others. You think I should feel guilt, Vim?
Yes.
You do? Okay, I will then. I'll feel guilt for a little while. All right, on we go. So everywhere you look around here, there is some bit of life going on. I'm just keeping looking in the trees. I've been so excited about it. I'm just going to quickly talk to Andrew. No, it's fine. let's go and have a look on Twin Dams Road. I'm just going to check with my communications with the final control. They seem to have gone radio silent. Are you guys still there? Now, Mvula's son in quarantine used to like to live in this bush here, in this beautiful tree. And that is called a Scotia brachypatella, or weeping boerbean. Stunning, stunning tree. And quarantine used to like to hang around in there. Isn't that beautiful? The bark of that tree, let me tell you this before we go to the school drive, apparently can be very effectively used to cure a hangover, which was important yesterday after our little party we had post our TV show. We had a little wrap party, and most of us were feeling a little bit fragile yesterday morning, and perhaps we should have come along to this tree. We're going to have a quick look at the actual twin dams and then turn around, come back this way and drive around. What do you see, Viam? Why are you sniffing like that? You're just sighing because we're not looking at leopards killing something. Lions. Viam was actually slightly unimpressed when we found those leopards. He seemed very excited to see some lions this morning. Rebecca, if that was a communication, I'm afraid I didn't hear it. Gary, you want to know if running over dung makes the vehicle smell. Gary, running over dung, it depends entirely on the dung. If you run over lion dung, it smells absolutely horrendous. If you run over elephant dung, it doesn't tend to make a difference at all. No, you can't really hear that or smell that. But lion dung definitely smells utterly horrendous. And if you run over lion dung, you can almost hear it. It's so powerful. So this is Twin Dams, which will hopefully fill up into a remarkable water source. There's an impala, Viam. You see it? Yes! Woo! On the dam wall. 2 of them, Viam. A great teeming herd. Let's keep our distance in case they run away, everyone. A young male impala. There we go. Very nice, Viam. Well done. I'll just go a little bit further along here. Keep looking into the trees for the draping tail. Oh, there's a hippopotamus lying down in the bush. We're not going to go any closer because they will run away. Isn't that amazing? How bizarre. Now that you do not want to find when you're on foot trying to find a leopard walking through the thick bush. And the reason for that, of course, is that they are very threatened when they're out of the water and so potentially very dangerous. Now, what's interesting is that that kind of situation where there's a hippopotamus lying out of the water is going to become more and more common as the dry season progresses post this drought. There's a waterbuck sitting very nicely framed through there. There we are. And there's just very little water around for young bull hippos who've been tossed out of the pod to go and find. Marco, we were talking about a little bit about rain and water, and you say, is there a possibility of landslide? No, there isn't. Very few opportunities for landslide. Landslide normally happens where you've got a bit of sort of a clay on the top surface, and or clay on the surface layer of the soil, and very poor drainage. So eventually the soil and the slope combine to make, it gets too heavy when the water's flowing into it, and then it'll fall off the slope. But here, there's not a huge amount of clay in the soil. There's also very little topography. You can see it's very gently undulating, and so there's no real slope for anything to fall off here. And so no landslides in this particular area, really not a problem. And indeed, in most of South Africa, landslides are not an issue. Let's go and have a look from the top of the dam wall here. Just see if there aren't any further tracks. I don't see any further Mvula tracks. Anyway, time will tell. Now that hippo, he wouldn't follow off into the bush there because he will be very nervous on his own, very nervous out of the water, and I think he's probably just looking for a bit of sun to go and lurk in for a while, warm up a bit, and then he'll lie in the deep shade. And Herbert, who was out tracking the other day, he was tracking some leopard, he came across a hippopotamus in the bush alone. And the hippo was quite close to him, but because he's very skilled in the bush, he managed to just stand up quickly and get away. I'm going to have to turn this radio off, I'm afraid. It's just too loud. There's too much going on the other reserves. You're not missing out on anything. It's not like they've found anything. Everybody's just tracking and keeping updated with what's going on. A couple of lion tracks and that sort of thing. Alright, let's head across to Brent Leo Smith for an update. We'll see if we can't find any more leopard tracks here.
Hi guys, so unfortunately I found some gremlins a little earlier when I was busy answering about how James got the nickname Commander Bond. I'm not really sure, I think it just happened. I think James happened to be talking in a Sean Connery-esque voice, and James does like to liken himself to a secret agent. So Commander Bond is of course James Bond's official rank. So I'm on my way to a surprise. So we've crossed onto Arathusa, and I've just got to be on the radio for a second. Sorry about this. Sorry, Neil, confirm I can make my way straight in. Copy, thanks very much, Neil. Okay, now I wonder what's down in the Marikani River. Could it be a turtle dove? Hello, pigs. Here you go, some warthogs at Red Dam. Oh, what did the mommy warthog see on the other side? Now, quite interesting there, we've got what looks to be 3 ages. We've got the big female up on the left, and then we've got a slightly older female in the middle between the 2 of this year's babies. Can you hear some elephants making some noise? But now, it's not uncommon for female offspring of a warthog to stay with mom and actually keep living with mom for a while. So you have related sounders, and look what's coming just to the right of the warthogs. So we've got both grey tusked beasts we get you in the same shot. Oh, is it a young bull? Is he going to chase the warthogs? That is the next question. Sometimes that does happen. See that? It looks like a young bull. I wonder if he's going to pop down towards Red Dam for a drink. I can hear elephants all around us at the moment. You can hear branches breaking everywhere. I'm just going to sit here quietly and see what this elephant does. I'm hoping it comes down to the water that's just next to us. Just going to position to get ourselves into a good spot if he does come, and also do a bit of birding while we wait for him to come through the thickets. Now, right on the edge of the water there, Dave, some yellow-fronted canaries. Oh, big little one. A little big flock. Oh, and they all took off because the elephant shook his head. Well, not all of them, but most of them. So he's up on the dam wall now. Hello, mister. Now he's coming up to us, might come give us an inspection. Hello, mister. I think he's... Oh, you're being very naughty. Are you coming to cause trouble? No, you're not. Good boy. Go have a drink. Behave yourself. I'm watching you. He's got a bit of a mischievous glint in his eye, this young Ellie bull. Now, this is a pumped water hole, and he's actually smelling where the fresh water comes out. He'd prefer to have water straight from the ground. He's decided he's not thirsty unless it's crystal clear. Sorry about my head there. So it sounds like he's going to move off towards where the other elephants are. But there is some more elephants still coming out of the bush opposite us. I'm just going to call it in on the radio quickly. There comes another Ellie. There's a Djuma to the south of Red Dam and some Madoda and Djuma at Red Dam itself. You can actually hear lots of elephants around. There's another young bull sniffing us from the other side. They do seem a bit agitated this morning. Oh, warthog, watch out. The warthog just ran. That's why his head's up. He chased the warthog. As soon as the warthog had one look at that, he was out of there. Now you can see how I say he's not 100% happy. You can see his tail sticking out there. And I think there could be a big bull in the area that's giving these young bulls a hard time. Okay, let's just move a little bit further towards where we can hear the others. I was really hoping they'd stop for a little drink, but obviously not that thirsty. Ooh, on our way to the surprise. Just going to be on the radio for a second quickly. Standing by. I'm at Red Dam. Confirmed best access is straight down Maraken. Firm, yeah. There's also just lots and lots of Ndlovu just to the south of Red Dam. Copy, thanks very much. Okay, so we're on our way for a surprise. And we've already been spoilt with a sighting of Karula's little beauties. And we are on our way to something else feline, but we are having to pass lots of elephants while we do that. Hello, Ellies. Let's calm down. No need to be uppity now. So, they do seem a little bit agitated. They could, as I said, it could be a big bull in the area. Don't you even think about charging me from behind that bush. Yes, I saw you. I knew your plan before you did, mister. Another young bull. Don't be naughty. Yes, now what? We have a standoff. So elephants quite often, when you get into these situations, are used to doing the biggest thing and everything runs away from them. So all you do is stop. And like this, they feel a bit awkward. Oh, sorry, it's not a young bull, so it's an adult female. It's okay, madam. Here we go. Put your tail down. We're not wanting to cause trouble, but also don't want you to chase me while I'm going through here. There we go. Off she goes. So quite important not... Hey! Stop it. None of this nonsense. Yes. Pretend to eat the tree. Try to sneak at me through the bush. Naughty elephant. So there we go. All it took was a little bang on the side of the car, and she's behaving herself now. So it's very important not to race away when an elephant does that, because you can sort of teach them to chase cars. Right. Can be quite scary. They are massive animals. And you could just see she was up to mischief. Body language and that, and the way she moved around, she tried to sort of sneak a charge through the bush at us. So we're in the little Marakeni riverbed at the moment. So even though it looks like a road, this is actually the riverbed and lovely river sand here. To make sure there's no elephants around the corner. No, not today. Oh, more elephants. Hello. So again, we just want to make sure we don't upset them. Hello, big girl. So there's another vehicle who's having a similar situation to what we had with that young bull earlier. But in this situation, you see this big female, completely calm, tails down. We're busy being stalked by another young bull on this side who thought I didn't see him. Yes, I see you. We've got two little boys on either side of us. Now, who's going to shake his head at us first is the question. I got a feeling it's going to be him. This is a wonderful traffic jam. We're trying to get to a cat, and we're spending quite a bit of time in the middle of elephants. Yeah, we're going to try and make some space here now. We've got a traffic jam in the riverbed.